numbers with the financial auditor, and again, you will all know as soon as I know. I plan on meeting with him, I believe, at the end of next week, and we will discuss this further. Obviously, it's a major concern. It was something he brought to my attention, again, about 1 minute into our initial phone call. Yes?
Building on the gentleman's question about lowering our taxes, there was a new thing signed by the governor to lower the real estate taxes on 65 and older who own their homes by 30%. Plans?
Yeah, so I saw that. I have to look into it, I'll be honest with you. I have not dug into that. I haven't looked into it. If you, I think I have that actually in my possession, but if you want to email that to me, or I'm not sure if you have my number or not, you can text it to me or
Not anymore.
whatever you like. Yeah, get it to me however you want, and I will, you know, I will definitely look into that. I don't know the details of that. I do not.
It was all part of her making New York more affordable.
Yeah, I'm not much for putting stock in
Yeah.
things Governor Hochul tell you that are gonna save you money, I'll be honest. If you want my honest opinion, so that's, I wouldn't count on Kathy Hochul bailing you out anytime soon, but, I will certainly look into it for you, gladly. I'm all for it, if that's the case. Yes,
I just have a couple more.
sure,
You approved the retainer for a new lawyer.
correct.
Can I ask how much that was for?
It's not, it's for services. So,
Per diem, as.
correct. Yeah, it's for hourly services. Anytime we encounter the services of the town attorney, we get a bill. You know, they send us a bill. So there is no standing fee, you know, like we have to pay him X amount of dollars.
As you.
However much we use the attorney, you're right, it would be.
And then the estimate on the historical building?
Mhm.
Do you-
Oh, what was it?
Yes.
Why didn't I print that? Do you know, Mike, do you know offhand? Was it?
I emailed it to you, Mark.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I
Should have it
didn't
in
print
front of
it.
you.
I'm gonna ballpark it at, I think, 2,600. Please don't, you know, massacre me if that's off by a couple dollars. I'm going off memory. I believe that is the case. There was a disappearing deductible in there. I believe, you know what? Oh, no. My phone is Facebook Living us. I cannot access my phone.
Access your email?
I'll just put it in the minutes.
Yeah, we'll have it, but trust me, it's very close to that, if not right.
And then waste management, being that we're going into the curbside pickup, there hasn't been curbside pickup,
What do
the
you mean?
monthly curbside pickup.
Say it again?
The monthly.
The bulk, you
The
say?
bulk, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Do they issue a credit for that?
No. Nope, so
So they get off
there's
scot-free.
6 months a year, right, so, you know, yeah, it's just what it sounds like. You got 6 months of your bulk pickup taken away, they portrayed that as safety for, and access for the plows, and, you know, they don't, which is fine, I'm not,
Yeah.
you know, opposed to that, I understand, safety of workers, and, they don't want people putting gigantic things on the side of the road in the wintertime in case the plows have to go through. I get all that. Do I think that was probably the real motivation behind it? You know, I don't know. But they did take it away during the winter months. So you got 6 months a year instead of all year for your bulk pickup. I believe you're allowed to put an additional item on your bulk pickup weeks during the 6 months. So you're allowed, I think, what we allowed, 3 before?
Right.
So I think we're allowed 4 now. You guys don't kill me if that's wrong. But I believe you're allowed 4 instead of 3 on the days. And I guess they're not very concerned about these, you know, dumpster site pickup coordinations, because they say they're supposed to coordinate it with the supervisor, and I haven't heard a word from them. All they keep telling me is, you know, to be determined later, or yeah, we'll figure it out, you know, later. It's not, you know, it's not info they have right now.
On the veterans flags,
Yes,
what is the area that you'll be putting them in?
so right now the plans are for, in Coles, so what we want to do is target, it all depends on demand, actually. You know, if the demand is overwhelming, it's something I might present, you know, to the residents, to be honest. Colesville, obviously, this area here, you know, those are target areas that I would want to fill, you know, right off the bat. Obviously, those would be my original, you know, points. I think this would be a fantastic place, you know, having banners out in front of the town hall, that would be great. As well as, obviously, when somebody rolls into town, you know, they come right into Colesville and they see that, plus it's got that feel of, you know, yeah, Main Street, hometown, residential, you know, kind of feel. So those would be our original. Now,
How
if
far
we
out
get,
of Bennington will you go?
I will not.
So where are you stopping on Clinton and Bennington?
So we'll be you will not, nobody will be outside the town lines. There will not be anybody outside the town line. There won't be any they're for Bennington residents only.
Correct.
So we would be inside the Bennington town lines. Now, again, I would say, before we plug the entire, you know, street of Clinton up, because some of those poles are set kind of far off the road, and I don't want, I ordered the biggest banners they have. So I got the biggest banners that they have, so I want them to be readable and I want them to be noticeable, and we're gonna pick the best locations, so some of those poles are a little set back from the road, and I don't want anybody to have a banner that isn't readable. I think that's important.
Does the utility company have to be notified to be okayed by that?
You need a permit for it.
Yeah, so I'm working with, the village of Attica. They've been doing this for, I forget, a lot of years. So I'll be coordinating all of that. Right now, we're in the gathering, but we're completely allowed to put them on the utility poles. I would assume it's something that we would have to, you know, at least notify them.
And then who will be hanging them?
We will be, probably
Who's
me.
we?
I wouldn't doubt it. In between my bookkeeping gig and everything else, I'll probably be on a ladder out there hanging these banners. I say that as a joke, but not really. I really don't. I don't. If anybody in here, you know, is interested in helping out with this program, you know, by all means, again, don't hold back.
I know Attica charges an additional $100.
Say that? What's that?
Attica charges an additional $100 per year for maintenance.
No, they do not. They charge, 100, I believe 130, actually Attica gets their hardware from Ace Hardware. And then they cut and construct their own banners, spray paint the poles and everything like that. Again, that'd be something I would end up doing, so I can't take that task on right now. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Unfortunately, the brackets and the hardware from the company are $69. They say, Attica says they do it for anywhere to, in the mid to high 30s, around $40. If we ever get to that point, I will gladly try and save anybody any money that I can, but that's incurring, you know, more effort and work on our end. So right now, we're just gonna be purchasing the gear.
So is Attica the only town that you've contacted about hanging the banners?
So the village of Attica I'm dealing with closely,
I
yeah.
know Nate very, very well.
Yeah, so that's who I'm working with, and Julie, so they've been extremely helpful, very much so. Yes, sir.
I want to defer my question to Jake over there.
Thank
He
you.
his hand up for.
Thank
The sheriff just called, they got a tree down. Should I call the guys in or not call the guys in?
Oh.
Where is it?
On OT.
Well, what are you asking me for?
Should I call the guys in on OT to cut the tree?
Why are you asking me?
I don't know.
That's your decision.
You're not paying OT, so I'm asking you.
That is not true.
Okay.
That's not true at all.
Well, nobody's
Don't
gonna
worry,
go
I'll
in
take
for
care of
that.
it.
What's that?
I'll take care of it.
You should.
You're right, I will.
You're asking me to, if you want me to call highway guys in?
All good.
I
got
don't
it.
think any of the guys are gonna go in for a half hour and ruin their day for a half hour when they don't get their call in like you're supposed to be paying.
Okay, so that's incorrect.
It is correct.
It is not correct.
You're a liar.
It's not correct.
Oh, she's the one that said liar.
Right, yeah.
Let's check.
I have my head down. Thanks for the heads up.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I want to go back and refresh your mind a little bit, or clear it up, that on the transfer of general funds to the highway.
Okay,
I worked for the highway for 32 years.
I'm aware.
and you're not aware of a lot of stuff.
Okay,
At any given time, depending on the year, the winter, the budget, there was money transferred all the while I worked for the highway, from general to highway. You cannot transfer funds from highway to general. And it was done, and it never had to be paid back to general. So if you're pinpointing the present administration on wrongdoing, we've been doing it wrong for all those years.
I agree, I agree.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Yep, yeah, I agree. So that you're guided by the budget, correct? You
I
were the
know
hi-
what we're guided
you-
by.
You were the highway
I've done it
superintendent.
for 22
Right,
years.
so you were
And we
guided by your
never had the
budget.
problems we have
Is
today.
that correct?
That's correct.
You have to, we all have to live by the budget. There's only so
And we
much
gotta
money
treat people
in
with
the budget.
respect and dignity when you're doing it.
So are you talking about the budget or are
I'm
you
talking about
something
yourself
else?
and your administration.
Okay, so,
And you
now,
gotta
now,
quit
now you're
antagonizing
talking about
people
something
and
different.
bullying people.
Who did I bully?
Hey, you will get the tree.
Who did I bully?
Fuck it.
Who did I bully?
Are you gonna go cut off that tree?
I'm not.
Nobody else is gonna go do it, so you're gonna have to call the sheriff and tell them to sit there.
That's what you're hearing. Do you hear what you guys are hearing?
I do.
So for every resident
Yeah,
in
thank
town,
you.
that's what you're hearing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Documentation.
All the residents
need to actually know the facts, not just what you're feeding them.
That's what you're hearing.
So back to the banners for a minute. Do you have like an annual cost, total cost to make sure that what you take down?
For the banner, taking them down.
Is there a budget for it, like an annual cost of putting those, taking them down and maintaining them?
No.
Like who's paying for the banners to begin with?
The residents.
And then you're gonna be putting them up, taking them down?
Because nobody else is gonna do it.
Correct.
Unless you wanna volunteer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
That just,
Yeah.
that screams a huge liability being a state highway. Going up and down Pelican.
Yeah, so I'm working with, like I said, Nate and Julie from, Attica, they've been doing this for like 15 years.
That's all I know, and Shelter was going to hire a company because of the liability.
No, not a fire company, we hired outside contractor.
Anybody else?
Can we go back to you only speak when you raise your hand and then you're pointed to, instead of just people spouting out?
I mean, that's ideal, so there should be some decorum in here, but it got a little bit
I
lost.
mean, it would be nice to be civil to each other, even if we don't agree.
I agree. I agree. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the banners, did you try to source them locally, or did you send them out to Chinese manufacturers?
There's the Hometown Heroes banner program, again. I did not want to get involved with that, like, outsourcing the parts and different, things
But I'm saying the
myself.
banners themselves, did you see if there's anybody within the township or even our county?
Right, no, I had no interest in doing that, I wanted to go with the proven, and again, any cost-saving measures if we wanna get into in the future, creating
Okay.
your own hardware, any of those things, I'm all for it.
That's good. Next
We're up
question
against the
is,
clock, so we're going with what's tried and true.
why do we change law firms?
What's that?
Why do we change law firms?
So, Mr. Damadio is no longer the town attorney, we chose to go in a different direction,
Reason being,
because we wanted a new town attorney.
so you went out of the county.
Correct,
Okay, just
Yep.
clarifying that.
yeah.
There's not a lot of
Yeah.
municipal attorneys.
Shoot.
I didn't know about that.
And Demadio retired, didn't he, Mark?
Right, yeah, and Damadio is retired. So, Mr. Damadio is retired. His firm obviously is still functioning. Joyce, you,
But still a Wyoming County firm.
correct, yeah, his firm is.
There's not a
is
lot
still-
of municipal attorneys in Wyoming.
What do you have, Mr. Sorges, like his resume or his bio?
Oh, let's see, he specializes in municipal law, obviously. He's,
attorneys, between him and Mr. DiMatteo, I think the both of them have the majority of the towns that they represent.
Thank you.
Or that they represent, so he's really good, he's been called in on special counsel for wind and solar, you know, and interviewed him. A couple of us interviewed him, and we had a couple choices, and that's what we had. I think he's great, he gets right back to you right away.
Yes, very available, you know, for our needs, very experienced in municipalities and, like you said, wind and solar, so everything kind of touched, you know, the bases when we interviewed with him. The town board agreed that that was the direction we were going to go in, and so that's who we chose. By the way, I forgot to tell you, I have copies of the newsletter. This will be going out every month. If you guys want, I don't know if I made enough copies. I didn't know how many people were in there.
It's on
So I'll be posting this on all of social media. If you want one of these before you leave and you don't get one, please don't run out the door with the last, thank you. I'll save the last one, and that way, everybody gets a copy if they want one. We have those right here. I didn't want to hand them out before, because there's some spoiler alerts in there. Yes, sir.
You mentioned something about NOCO.
Yes.
Coming in. Is there a plan for them to build like a distribution center?
Boy, wouldn't that be nice, right? So that would be ideally where I want to take it in the future. So, myself, Marie and I called NOCO for service just a few days ago, and we were quoted 5 days as the target for our delivery. That's too long. I feel like that's too long for me. I think that's too long. Now, I would say that the best of all worlds, so there's a process to all this. Step one is the one that I said, we're going to bring NOCO in, we're going to do this event. They even said, I believe they've done it, they will do it in either a fire hall, or they said if we do it in might even do it at Pine Lounge, and they will offer like $5 off fish fries and stuff like that. You know, they do nice things for the residents that come in. It'll be a very good event. That's step one. And as that relationship builds, that's when, that's what I would love. Yes, that's exactly what I would love. I would love if NOCO was to build a distribution. They have one in Akron, I believe. I would love if they built one in the town of Bennington. And I think it would service this area. And what's that?
They have one in Arcade too, they own Crab Oil.
Okay, so, I mean, Akron's probably the closest to here, right?
Yeah, it's about the same.
Okay, yeah, so, you know, again, if they can use Bennington as a stepping stone to service more people in Wyoming County, and we get jobs and we get a distribution center here, boy, that would be fantastic. I'd sign
Switch
up
to
for that.
Reisdorf, they're right in Ashland.
I would sign up for that today. Say it again?
Switch to Reisdorf, they're right in Ashland.
I'm gonna go with you one at a time. I'm gonna go with you one at a time. Yeah, propane, heating oil, and, I think that's, don't quote me on diesel and exhaustive. Yes?
Yes. I was wondering what your plans are for maintenance on dirt roads with potholes.
Jake, do you wanna take that?
I was waiting to hear your new road plan, that's all. You told the people asked me a new road plan that you didn't have a discussion.
I did not
with
say
me,
that.
So I was.
I did
wondering
not
what your
say
road
that.
plan
Not
was.
true.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I absolutely did
You
not.
said your team was ready to go at the first of the year with your new plan you wrote.
I did not. Where did I say that?
I don't know.
If you don't know, that's because I didn't say that. So if you're gonna quote me on things that I said.
It's all in your promises.
Yeah, quote me on things I said. Don't make up things that I didn't say.
Never happened.
Don't make up things that I didn't say. Jake, did you want to answer her question?
Yeah, there is no plan. Stone, dirt, pothole.
Mud.
Mud. Happens every spring.
Why do you come down
Exactly.
in November, bury it, don't do anything else, maybe lay
There
some
you
stone,
go.
and then you come to the
That's what I'm
cloud,
dealing with.
all clouds
Right.
on the side of the
It's
road.
every dirt road. It's every dirt road thing. I wish it was better, honest to God. I wish it was better.
Chaining to the road,
It would help, it would help us.
and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus.
I feel your
Half our road
pain.
is paved.
But a
People are
kid-
asking questions up here.
Quiet, please.
So a 10-year-old that's building tree forts knows better than putting number 8 rock down on the top of a road. Number 8 goes down first. So if you're telling me that when they did, and I guess there were a lot of flat tires on the far end of Tinkham, and if you're
There's a lot
telling
of
me,
other places too.
if you're telling me that our DPW didn't know to put number 1 or number 2 crusher down, and they chose, well, we have this pile of rock, we'll use it, but it's number 8, and you don't put it down on top, you put it on bottom. Why are we paying these guys?
There you go.
So,
They don't, apparently they don't know their job.
You
don't know what number 8 rock is. What was the conversation that we had, one of our first
That was all
conversations
number
about the
2
size
crusher
of
from County
stone?
Line. And yes, is it bigger? Yes, it really is.
So,
And
the-
that
So
will
don't
never
use it.
happen
the
Don't
again.
put it on top.
conversation that we had is under no circumstances will those size of stone be laid on the surface coating of your road anymore. We're not gonna see railroad ballast size stone on your road.
Are they gonna scrape that stuff off?
Well,
'Cause
that,
it's still
that,
hazardous.
you know, right, the stone that's already out there, I doubt we have the resources to go pick up every rock in the town.
If
But,
they had skin in the game and they had to do it on their own dime, they're crying about cutting down a tree. If they had to do it on their own dime, cause they just willy-nilly
Why
put it
don't you
down,
apply?
they wouldn't have put it down if it was.
so what I'm saying is, when I first came in, that was the exact conversation that I had. I said, I don't wanna see that grade stone go down on the surface coat of a road. It is not suitable stone to be driving on. Let's just be honest, they're rocks. They're the size of my cell phone. And I had that conversation with Jake. It was one of the first conversations we had. I said, I don't care what County Line Stone says. I don't care. If that's what they're gonna try and dump on you, then we don't want it. I don't want those rocks on the road. I don't want people's tires going flat. If we can't use proper grade stone on the road, then that's a major problem.
So county
But
line,
again, I'm not the highway super.
if you go to county line, whether you're Joe Q Public or the town, and you ask for number 1 or number 2 crusher, they ain't putting number 4 stone in you. They got a business to run. They
It's all
don't
the
do
same
things that
stuff.
way. I've got stone.
And the only reason I say that, they just did a private job. Number 2 is the same stuff we put on the road.
Where down the buildings go that you found out?
Not in the budget, you gotta pay for that.
I don't have a
Clinton
question.
Street is a state
I'm
road.
gonna pick on Friday.
Clinton Street is a
Elizabeth
state
and
road.
me live on it. And
Right, but where down, I saw the buildings
have to
over
ask
in
the
the
state.
lot. Where they all
there's a store over there and then they put down.
Yes, sir.
Pay for those.
So on your future of Bennington that you posted on your social media.
Yeah,
And your announcement was major announcements on taxes, roads, and many changes that every resident will want to hear. So I didn't hear roads come up until residents brought up roads. I came here to hear your major announcements, so it's a bit misleading. So
yeah,
it doesn't sound like.
there's nothing misleading about it, and we discussed this at the last meeting. I'm not sure if you were at it or not.
No, I
But
saw
the-
this
but
came
the-
up on Sunday.
The
Said major
road, the
announcements on
roads are
roads.
discussed in the monthly newsletter, right there, that we're handing out.
But what's more concerning to me is, I believe you and Mr. Jensen need to find a way to work together,
I agree, 100%,
both of you.
100%. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more.
But this was
Said
very
one key word,
misleading.
both.
Misleading,
Well,
we
So,
false advertising?
what are you saying is misleading? Does it
Your
say, does
advertisement that came up on
does it say
Sunday,
that there's a
that said
plan
that there
for
were
the
major
roads?
announcements on taxes and roads.
Right.
You did not bring up roads.
What do you mean? So I just talked to you about the highway department for literally about a half an hour. That all goes into
I
that.
understand it, but I'm expecting to hear some type of a plan for roads. You're
He's
just saying that
in
money
the
has been
back
wasted
corner,
over
he's
the
in the
last
back
20 years.
corner, sir.
Listen,
Your highway
I will
superintendent
take
is
it
in
easy.
charge of
There
your
is no
roads.
plan for roads. Your dirt roads will be dirt roads, your hard roads will be hard roads. I'll
So,
make it easy.
the highway superintendent is right there. If you have a question, I have that same question. And I plan on working with him and the highway super from the county. I have all that listed right here for you, and I would love to work with all of them to figure out what the plan for our roads is. So that would be super. I would love that.
Mark,
Yes.
I'm gonna pick on Chris Stones. Could you talk about the Packer that we bought last year?
Yeah, so last year we got it was CHIPS money, and we put the roller, the Packer roller on the back of the grader. So the plan is, I'm assuming that once the frost gets out of the ground, the pecker roller will go back on, it's off of it right now, and they'll be using that to roll, to grade and pack at the same time. So that should pack down the stones, right? Everyone's getting nervous with flat tires this time of season, which I am as well. I live on a dirt road. But the plan is, right, the steel roller we got rid of because it was inefficient, and too slow at the job. Now we can have one guy grading and rolling the roller all at the same time. So I'm assuming that once they're frosted out of the ground, the roller goes back on the grader, and then the grader and the roller do the same job at once.
Why did you have to answer that question?
Yeah, so, we're, yeah.
Well, because he's the one that
Yeah,
helped.
no, I get it.
Because he knows.
Right.
I know.
But is that the plan? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, but you can't do it right now with all the frost coming out of the ground.
Okay. Right. That explanation. Young man. Yes.
Are you planning on reaching out to other energy companies too, to see if we can get them to come in also, to get a little competition?
Maybe in the future, right now, I would say just NOCO, that's one, you know, one iron in the fire, so one thing at a time. Yeah. So NICEAG, I'll be meeting with NICEAG, very soon, again, hot spot with everybody, I know, and Mr. DiPietro will be talking about that, you know, in detail. Energy costs, NICEAG, electric bills are out of control. I wish I had the, you know, magic answer for everybody that I could just turn that around. That problem is very complex, and it goes very high up.
NICEAG is also in Italy, by the way.
Yeah, NICEAG is owned by Spain.
Spain.
In Spain, but,
That's a problem.
you know, but it goes way above that. Public Service Commission, you know, these are officials that are way up there, and you know, it's, you know, everybody is aware of it. I have a resolution that we're working on, you know, to put together as a town. We will send that on to the Public Service Commission as well as Governor Hochul's office. How much weight that carries, you know, I don't know, but, you know, from our perspective, we have to do something. And again, hopefully I can be bringing some people into the fold with, you know, some sort of insight as to, you know, possible solutions to these problems. It's, you know, that's a bad one. I forget what the number is. I think somebody brought it up at the county the other day that possibly 30 to 40% of residents are in arrears on their electric bills. You know, so this is becoming a situation where it's really a public safety concern. People are going to be getting their utilities shut off when the weather gets better, and or you know, people are going to have to start considering moving, going somewhere else. What a crazy, you know, predicament to be in, to actually have to consider whether or not you can stay in your home because of your electric bill. That is highly, you know, insane in my opinion. But that's where we're at, and you know, again, hopefully I can bring some answers, you know, to you about that soon.
And also, Mr. Pryor, if you need help with the banners, I'll help you. I'll do anything for the vets.
Okay, thank you.
Our highway superintendent, is that an elected position?
It is.
By the public?
Correct, yeah. That position is on the ballot. Correct.
And I'm new here. And his father was the guy that was in charge for 25 years before that?
His father is the gentleman who spoke up as a previous.
So he did a 25, and now his son.
I don't know if 25 is accurate. He was a longtime highway superintendent.
There was somebody in between.
Yeah, there were superintendents in between, Richard and Jake.
So the guy who's in charge now, is he working for you, or does he work for us?
He works for the town board.
I work for the public.
He works for the public.
You work for the town board, Jake.
Public.
Public elected him, not the town
I'm
board.
official for the public.
That is incorrect.
That is not incorrect.
So you serve under the town board.
No, it's actually.
You serve under the town board. That is incorrect. So you're getting bad information right now. In no way, shape, or form is the public in control or in charge of the highway superintendent position. That is incorrect.
Is that a legal opinion?
What's that?
Is that a legal opinion?
the function of the highway
We
superintendent?
have a whole book about it.
Here's the highway superintendent law book. You can take a look at it yourself if you
I don't
like.
need his law book. He's an elected official.
Correct.
He works for the people.
He does not, sir. He does not.
Highway
He was
superintendent law is right
elected,
there.
he was elected by the people. So
That's what I just said. He's
how-
elected
how-
by the people, he works for the people.
Oh, we're elected, we work
He
for
does
the
not. So his salary is set and controlled by the town board. That means he works for the town board. He reports to the town board. That's how the system works.
He's
That's
employed
the,
by the
that's
town
the
of
way it works.
Bennington.
The
By
highway,
virtue of it, just like you.
the highway department reports to Jake as their supervisor. Jake reports to the town board.
I know, brother,
That-
I get it.
That's the chain of
He's
command.
elected by the people, that's all I'm
I
saying.
understand what you're saying. What I'm saying to you is, the people
You
are
don't need to
not
tell
in
me
charge
what
of the
the
highway
reality is.
superintendent position.
Listen, he gets elected by the people, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, then
I
you're
agree,
okay,
I
you're
agree,
agreeing.
that the people are not in
If
control of
someone's
that.
got an issue, they're calling him in regards to the
Hey,
highway.
I'll give you a peek at my phone
Just for the
someday.
record, I work for all these people, they call me, not you.
Yeah, I'll show you my phone one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
I'll
I
show
tell
you
you
my-
what, I'll show you my answering
I'll
machine.
show you my phone.
If you don't get paid for all
see
the
you later.
phone
Good job, why
calls,
don't you quit?
you get paid.
How about you get out
You
there?
get paid. Okay, let's move on.
All right, okay. Any other business to come before the board or county matters?
This gentleman wants to
This
bank up the bus.
Yeah,
My name is Nick Duran. I'm a business agent for Teamsters Local 264. I represent the employees at the Highway Department. I wanted to bring some concerns that we have to the attention of the town board about how things have been going since the first of the year. In February, I was notified by my union steward, Paul Schroeder, that Supervisor Pryor was misinterpreting Article 11 and Appendix B in the collective bargaining agreement regarding pay for emergency call-ins and pay for the deputy highway superintendent. Paul made multiple attempts to explain the intent and the interpretation of that language, which is backed by established practices that have been in place consistently for over 30 years. This particular language has been in the contract for more than 30 years. Supervisor Pryor was unwilling to listen to Paul's explanation with the regards to the intent of the language and how the language has been interpreted for decades.
Doesn't mean it's right. Just because it was there and it's the way it's interpreted, doesn't mean it's right.
Just let him talk. It's past precedent.
Oh, you got
Past practice.
union steward.
Mr.
Hold
Durant, hold on. Before this goes any further, so I have made numerous attempts to contact you, which you have not contacted me back. Your CBA clearly spells out your grievance procedure. You are not following it right now. It is not to be presented in a public forum. It is not to be, chanted out, without, we have gone through this. We've contacted each other by email and by phone. I called you 5 times today and have not heard back from you.
Today, can I have the floor, please?
No. So what?
Let me tell you what happened. Hold on.
When I finish, I will gladly.
You interrupted him.
He was
So,
talking first.
this is not the forum, this is not the arena to air your grievances.
I'll correct the record.
This-
when you're done.
This is your CBA.
I'll correct the record. when
Your
you're done.
grievances, the aggrieved party and steward shall first discuss the grievance with his or her immediate supervisor with the objective of resolving the matter. If the matter is not resolved at the above step, it may be submitted as a grievance in writing and the executed form provided for by the union and presented to the supervisor within 14 calendar days. What you gave me was a form that was completely vague. I asked you to clarify, and then you gave me an email stating, I will meet with you on either the 8th, the 9th, or the 12th. That was on March 2nd. Then you emailed me on March 6th.
March 9th.
No, you emailed me,
March
I
9th.
have,
I got
or I
the
have a
email.
letter, I
Go get it.
have a
Go get
letter.
it.
On
Go get
March
it.
6th.
Go get it.
On March 6th.
Go get it.
That states, you did not agree to meet with me, and this was before any of the 3 days that you offered me to meet with you, the 8th, 9th, or 12th. The 12th isn't even here yet, and you're still saying that I am refusing to meet with you. So you are not following your own grievance procedure according to your own CBA. This is not how you address grievances, according to your own CBA. You are to submit these in writing. You submitted a vague request to me, I asked you to clarify it, you chose not to, and now you want to come to a public meeting, and you want to just shout out grievances to the town. This is not the way that we handle these grievances.
I'll
I will
clarify
gladly
now.
meet with you anytime our schedules coincide, and we can discuss this. If you'd like to have your union workers with you as well, I'll meet with all of you. That's all I asked you for, was clarification.
I'm gonna clarify some of the things that you're saying. that are
We're not airing grievances
I-
in public.
I have the floor.
This is-
I have
Why
the
not?
floor.
This is not how you
I
handle
have the
You
grievances.
can't just add a person to the agenda in the middle of the
Right,
meeting.
right, you sent
Why
in
not?
an
You're
Maria,
you sent
stop
in an
talking.
email today asking to be added to the meeting agenda.
That was yesterday.
So, well, I got it today. So when you're asking to be added to the meeting agenda, so you gave no consideration to my schedule whatsoever. You gave me 3 days that were okay with your schedule. You didn't offer me any options myself. When I got a hold of you on Monday, I called you numerous times on Monday, you did not return any of my calls. I called you 5 or 6 times today at your office and your cell number that you gave me. None of those calls were returned.
Now, can I tell
So,
what
well,
actually
okay,
happened?
so I have offered you numerous ways
You have not.
to discuss this situation, and instead you choose to show up at a town board meeting and you wanna
Yes,
air
because you
grievances.
ignored me for a week.
I absolutely did
You
not.
absolutely did. Go get the email.
One of your
Go get the email.
suggested
Go get
dates
the email.
to meet is tomorrow.
Nick, just go ahead.
Do you wanna still meet tomorrow?
I'm here now.
We can meet tomorrow in the proper fashion as you suggested.
I am no longer available.
I don't, so now you can't meet on the
You know,
12th
I have
anymore.
35.
So, again, this is not the proper way to conduct this, and I don't even know what you're referring to because you have
If
never.
you'd allow me to
Exactly,
finish,
so
I
let
would
him
tell you.
speak, and then you would know what he's referring to.
No, this is not the way you give your grievance. I gave it to you in writing, asked you to clarify, and now you just want to come and shout them out in public. I believe you're very well aware that this is not the way to handle your grievances. It's right here in your CBA. So why don't we handle the grievance process the way it should be handled in the CBA? I'm absolutely 100% eager to do that with you. So stick around for a minute or two after the meeting. We will set up our schedules at our earliest convenience. I'll meet you wherever you like, and you can bring whoever you like along for the ride, and we'll talk about whatever you want, and we can clarify everything in the proper setting.
I would like to clarify one thing.
This is
I
not
would like
it.
to clarify one thing.
Go ahead.
I emailed you on March 2nd.
Correct.
A week later, on March 9th, you still had not responded to me.
No. So I have a letter from you. I'll show it to you. I'll
Can I finish?
show you the, hang on.
I emailed you on March 9th.
Right.
At about 10 o'clock in the morning, a week later, after no response to my email.
I called you
And I
March
said-
9th numerous times.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 hours after I emailed you and said.
I can't check, were you not listening? I can't check my email.
You're not listening.
I have
I'm
a
trying to
job.
talk.
I was at my job. I called you at my earliest convenience. That's
What
all I
about
can
the
offer.
previous week?
I told
What about
you.
the previous week?
That was what my schedule allowed. We still had all 3 days that you offered to meet with me. We still had all 3 days when I contacted you to accomplish that meeting. And when I came in to the office to check my email again, there was a written letter from you dated March 6th that said you're ignoring my request for meetings and so on. That's not true. I got that letter before the first date you even offered to meet with me. So again, if you want to do this properly, I'm all for it. We can meet anytime you like, stick around for a minute, have a slice of pizza, and we'll compare our schedules, and we'll get together at your
Can I
earliest
ask
convenience.
why that my members deferred comp since January has been taken out of their checks and not
Because-
deferred comp?
Because the bookkeeper that
Is
we
that
had.
your cost-cutting measure is to sit on my
Oh,
members?
okay, so again, we'll talk when we meet up, we can
I'd
clarify
like
all
to
this.
address the entire board.
This is not the proper way to conduct
I
this.
would like
so.
to have an opportunity to address the entire board.
Yeah, so this is not the place to do that. If you want to go into executive session, we can do that. We will have a special session coming up, I believe, next week or so. That would be the proper venue if you want to address the entire town board.
I'm salaried, my check's been wrong since January 1st. Just saying.
All of ours.
Everybody.
My members are-
Everybody in Iowa's been wrong since January 1st.
Your salary is not incorrect. Your salary is $79,310. Is that
None of
correct?
my guys been right since January 1st.
I verified that with you myself. Your
Yeah,
salary.
I agree.
Your salary is $79,310. How do you think I know that if I didn't verify
Well,
it with
something wasn't
you?
right the last time.
Ah,
Or 3 times before that.
okay. Okay, well, the 3 times before that, I didn't do the payroll, Jake.
I know, that's why it's so fucked up.
It's what?
That's why it's so fucked up.
Meeting over. Classic, classic. Okay, so we're gonna maintain decorum. You're an elected official. Could you please maintain
You're
some
welcome.
decorum?
Buckle up.
Yeah. Okay, so with
Can I
that,
ask why
we are
why
going to
two of
draw
my
to a
members didn't
close.
get paid?
We are going to draw to
Can I
a
ask why
close.
2 of my members didn't get their paychecks?
Is there any other business to
And
come
why your
before the board?
response to them was buckle up?
Yes,
Can
yes,
I-
sir.
Can I ask why 2 of my members didn't get their paychecks?
Yes, sir.
My name is Matt Howell. I've lived in Colesville since 2010. Or Bennington, rather. I live on a dirt road, and I chose to live there. I knew it wasn't paved. Do I like it being dirt all the time? No, okay? It gets rough in the spring.
I'm sorry, sir, what road did you say? You were on?
I didn't say which.
Okay, okay,
I said I live on a dirt road.
okay.
I live on We elected the board, and we elected the town, or the highway supervisor.
Correct.
And from what I've seen here tonight, there's been a lot of toddler attitudes here.
Both ways?
A little bit, yes.
Both ways or one way?
A little bit of both.
Okay,
Mostly on this side, from my perspective.
okay.
If you're elected to do a job, or you're hired to do a job, you are to do that job to the best of your ability.
Amen.
If you have an issue with somebody else, you go to that person first, and you work it out with them. If you cannot make time to meet together and do this in a proper setting, then shame on you. This is not the place to have all these little squabbles. This is a place to get work done that needs to get done.
Could you run for highway, or for town supervisor, please?
What? Wait, I didn't hear you.
What happened?
I don't know enough about it.
Okay. Any other business to come before the board? Yes.
Over the last 10 minutes, you said that this was not the forum to have employee grievances or employee issues, correct?
It's not the forum according to the CBA. Correct.
You recall last month, you had a very unprofessional comment.
Are you
towards myself.
guided by the CBA?
Okay.
Okay. Is there any more, business
Hold on.
to come before the board?
I would like to clarify the rest of that sentence. So, the said envelope that you claim that you found on my desk.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I did not
Yes,
say
you
I
did.
found
We
it.
all heard you last month.
I did not say I found it on his
You
desk.
said you found it on his
I
desk.
did not.
I walked out and
I
said,
did
hey, I'm
not.
gonna go rummage around in your desk, cause must be it's okay.
It
You
was
did say
found, it was found in his office and given to me.
That's not what you said. That is not what you said.
Play the tape
Today
back.
you clarified, you found it on the bookkeeper's desk, right?
I'll play the tape for you, Maria.
And that is also your desk, right?
It's right here.
No,
You found it on your own desk?
no, my desk is in the office. Okay.
Are you
So-
not the bookkeeper?
Okay, is there any other business to come before the board?
So I do have.
I have a
one
question.
monthly report. I see you skipped over my part in the meeting. I would like to submit it in writing.
Okay, all right. Any other business to come before the board?
Yep.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
You got questions?
All right, so we have to cut off at a certain point, it's already after 9 o'clock. We're gonna be here all night, you know, unless you guys wanna stay here all night.
Free and total access.
Do you wanna stay here all night?
Sure.
Yeah, let's hear the question.
Jake?
If a truck breaks down and I gotta spend more than $500, I can't do it?
Say that again?
If a truck breaks down and I gotta spend more than $500, I can't do it?
It's not what I said. I said any expenditures over $500 will be required to get my approval first.
Okay, gotcha. Sounds good.
Same policy that exists in Attica today.
Okay.
Any other business to come before the board?
Could you just clarify when you were talking about the committees, you said that it was illegal the way it was done
I did
before?
not say it was illegal.
Okay, improper? What did you say? It was improper the way it was
The
done?
town board is the only legislative body in the town.
But then what did you say about getting a committee together to do it?
There should be only one body crafting laws for the town. That's why I separated it into, I invite any and all members of the town, committees, everybody. We're better off if there's a room full of people like this. We are. I want everybody as interested as can be, giving their input, you know, being on board. But in the end, the town board crafts the laws for the town.
Yes, I understand that, but who was doing it before that was improper then?
So we're doing things correctly. In the past, there had been a separation of residents, and the town board with appointed board members were separate from the residents. That's no longer going to be the case. Appointed members will be one with the public in that realm, and then in the end, the 5 members of the board, the only legislative body in the town, is responsible for the final crafting of that law with the town attorney if we need to.
That's the way it's always been.
There should always be just, nobody in the town should be concerned, worried, or think for any amount of time that a non-legislative input is going into a law that all of you will have to follow.
See, I don't agree with that.
We're all welcome. I mean, I don't agree,
You appoint, the town board appoints these people on
Correct.
these boards.
to a non-legislative position.
But the planning board is there to help with the comprehensive.
Advisory, in an advisory fashion.
Correct.
So,
So
right.
there's nothing wrong with
I
them.
agree 100%.
But you can't have a room full of people like this to try to put something down in writing. You
In our,
have to have-
in our brainstorming and in our workshop session, we absolutely would have to, if this is the room full of people that want to be involved. You're all welcome to be involved. I encourage it 100%. But at a certain point in time, we have to put ink to paper and get that law constructed and on the books.
It's just the last
And-
step.
Right, it's just
all
the
we're talking
last
about.
step, the final decision, and where would we draw the line if non-legislative members, you know, Mr. Moen is highly qualified to help us with any laws. but he's not a member of a legislative body in the town. There's tons of people all over town that are more than qualified to help, and I want them all in this room at all times, but when it gets to where the rubber meets the road, it has to be the legislative body of the town that puts the law down, stands by the law, and is accountable for that law to everybody in the town. It's just the way.
That's the way it's always been done.
Yes, sir.
Or if there is a workshop that's